If you care about them, don't be afraid to use your voice.
Hi, beautiful people. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Friday. There's something that I did want to mention to you guys. Like I say, everything that is going on in Ukraine, I always leave links down in my description. So yesterday I was going through my Instagram and I came across Leslie Jordan's Instagram post, and you guys, this is absolutely amazing. He has in his link in his bio, he's actually selling t-shirts for $24.99, and all proceeds go to Ukraine. That is absolutely amazing. So if you're interested, I'll leave that link down in the description box. I did order all t-shirts for my whole family, so I'm quite excited about that. That's another way in which you want to donate and can afford to donate. Please feel free. If you can't, that's fine. Your prayers are just as good as donating money. Thank you so much, you guys, for those that have donated, and for those that are standing with me in prayer for Ukraine. Thank you so much. If you hear noise or somebody cutting their grass, it's like it always seems to go this way. Whenever I want to sit down and film, somebody outside or my neighbors decide to cut their grass. Before I get into it, please don't take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. I was actually sent a message to say that Heather McDonald from Juicy Scoop actually mentioned Without a Crystal Ball and this whole 7M cult story in her podcast. So I listened, and she was promoting Without a Crystal Ball and how she's reporting on the story of the 7M dancers or 7M management, whatever it is. I personally took offense to it because half of what she's reporting is on hearsay, okay, or is false and misinformation, in my opinion. The thing that I got upset about, or that I felt disappointed about, was, did Heather McDonald do her proper research before reporting on the story? Because let's be clear, when KJ first came out with the story, she gave a whole different story than what she's reporting on now. I think at this point her story has changed 3 times. She came on and she explained that Miranda's in a cult. Miranda does not talk with her family. Miranda doesn't drive. Miranda's being brainwashed. Miranda's being human trafficked, and that Miranda is in a cult. Got receipts of all of that, which I'll probably leave at the end of the video. Long story short, a few days ago, Miranda went to visit her family. But before we get into that, nobody but Miranda and her family know their whole family dynamic, okay? We don't know what's going on in their lives, what's going on, if there's an issue with them. We don't know that. The public doesn't know that. So off the bat, Katie Joy just came and made up all these stories to fit her storyline. So as I said, Miranda went to visit her family on a few days ago. And KJ was actually in her live. And the people in her live is actually telling her that Miranda is meeting with her parents. And she was so argumentative with these people to say, no, that's not true. They're mixing up Melanie with Miranda. There's no way. So in KJ's fucked up mind, okay, she seems to think that she must know all the ins and outs of whatever's going on in the Wilkins family. Long story short, that whole thing, I'm gonna link down below All Things Sassy. She caught it, she made a video about it. It is absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. The way KJ ended that live so quick. And I think this is how she carried on, in my opinion. From hearing that Miranda's meeting with the parents and her not knowing, to now people are letting her know that Miranda's meeting with the parents, to her dropping the live and running to call the Wilkins family to see if that is true.
I think you guys are confusing Melanie and Miranda. I don't think Miranda's with her parents. Are you thinking of Melanie? It was Miranda with her parents. I'll have to find out about that.
Miranda did make an Instagram live, as I said. Go and watch All Things Sassy and you will see. And then when KJ found out that it's the truth, that this meeting is actually happening, and then afterwards she posted this. Miranda posted after visiting with her parents. She says, statement from Miranda. Here is the full live video from today showing meeting my parents in Michigan. I just wanted to show that we are genuinely meeting with my family. And it is not a green screen. My dad and my mom were with me, documenting it, since some people are into conspiracy theories and doubting the authenticity of everything. Did I look mad? Yes, because I am. People I love, my friends and husband, and I truly literally being stalked, lied about, harassed, and used for strangers' social media gain in the name of concern. All these dancers who claim that we are best friends, that I never hung out with once, hopping on IG lives to comment on my life for views and clickbait. Not that it is anyone's business, but my parents and I had a 3-hour conversation today about our private family issues, and I'm going to leave it there unless I'm forced to talk about it. To those who have supported us through this, thank you, and I see you. Our passion is to spread positivity and joy through our pages, but this Walking Sisters 2 page is a place for me and my friends to address any lies said regarding the situation. I hope my family and I can soon move on and heal. As for Katie Joy and her gross cult-like followers, just leave my family alone. We do not need your help and input. You don't care about us. Then Katie Joy responds with this. Miranda just posted a statement. It's not uncommon for concern for the safety of someone to be turned around at the people concerned. As I stated earlier, Miranda meeting with the parents is an attempt to end the conversation about what Robert Shin is doing to harm dancers and church members. Instead of calling her pastor a cult leader, I am a cult leader. I agree. I totally agree with Miranda. Yes, you are. We, the team I'm on stopping our investigation into Robert Shin and his co-conspirators. Taking aim at her friends in the dance community isn't surprising either. Robert Shin doesn't want her to trust anyone. Just ask his former members who accused him of fraud, inappropriate sexual advances, and extortion. Sorry. Was KJ sticking with the story? As you can see, the last line of the screenshot, don't fall for this. They are being trafficked. So she is convinced, and she's putting it out there as fact, that they are being trafficked. First of all, in my opinion, she had to put doubt in people's mind to suit her storyline, to suit what will make her money. This is a 25-year-old young lady who I choose to believe she is damn talented. She seems to be a very intelligent person. She seems to be a person that can make her own decisions. And from what I've read, she is making her own decisions. So for me as an outsider, I'm not going to undermine what she's saying. This is the way I look at it, and I can look at both sides of the coins, okay? In Miranda's situation, this is what I look. I'm not saying she's not in the cult. I'm not saying anything else. All I choose to do is believe her and where she's at now, okay? I choose to believe that, as Katie Joy reported the other day, one of Miranda's best friends said that Miranda was so ashamed of James and how he is so devoted to his faith, okay? Now, can we look at it this way? Maybe Miranda saw how things were going in favor of James, how he was prospering in life, and she saw this happen to him with her own eyes. And couldn't she have changed her whole feeling towards the situation and believe that, oh, if I have faith, maybe good things could come to me too? Could that not have happened to her? I'm just saying. We do not know their family dynamic. All we know is that the parents made a plea that they don't see their kids. They've never heard from her in about a year, but they know where she lives. okay? And it's just a whole mess. Why is Katie Joy getting involved in family business? Now, the other side of the story, which I sit and I watch Queen of Crump's Instagram live, where the whole situation comes in where allegedly Tie-Dyes, who is also a crump dancer, actually is the one that was recruiting these guys. Concrete, B-Dash, Aubrey. So he actually knew these dancers were so good and he fed them some kind of bullshit and got them to where they are now, okay? Or maybe they saw that Tie-Dyes, he was flourishing in life, he was doing good, and he always preached, who can be against me when God is for me? And they believed it. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just explaining the way I see things, how things could have happened. Queen of Crump herself said she's not worried about Miranda, and I don't think she meant it in a negative way. She was mostly there because of the wrong that Tie-Dyes had done to this group. So that's when Without a Crystal Ball story changed, because she started familiarizing herself with the story. Let's move on to James Derrick, Miranda's husband. When she first started reporting on this, James was not well educated. James was a deadbeat dad. James couldn't make decisions for himself. And as I said, I'm going to leave all the receipts at the end of this video. James came out with a statement. Talking Sisters 2 statement from James. Why is this Kathy Joy twisting my words? This is what I said. A white man called the cops on a black man for kidnapping and domestic violence. Dean is not racist, but he is a liar. From the start, Dean didn't approve of our relationship because of race, but just because I was a poor man from Compton, but he put up with our relationship thinking it wouldn't last long. Before Miranda decided to move in with me, he found out I had a son with my ex, and that's when him and Kelly tried to get Miranda to break up with me, saying things to Miranda all the time like, if he can't support his son, he won't be able to support you. So Dean's disapproval was because of money and not because of color. I did not want to reveal those details again with all these false accusations. I am forced to say this information at B-_2. In KJ's eyes, okay? First of all, she said she totally missed this post. Let me prove to you. She is following B-. Yeah, you have it. She's following him on or without a crystal ball. But also, what's also weird before I go on, she's not following anybody else on without a crystal ball. So for her to know all these things about these people and what they're doing on the social media, she is definitely following them on her sock accounts. Definitely. So let's get back to B-. B- is a talented black man, okay? We do not know what happened between his ex-wife and him. She reported on all that B-'s ex-wife told her. This is just looking at the opposite side of the coin right now. Maybe B-'s wife is a scorned woman. We don't know. I'm not saying it's true, and no offense to B-'s ex-wife. Absolutely none. But let's look at it from all angles. If B- is not supporting his son or not contacting his son, they need to set this out or discuss this behind closed doors, not for the world, period. Because when this kid grows up and see all this about his dad, that is fucked up. And all this has been brought on by nobody else. Go watch every story that's reporting on these dances. Nobody is talking about these people's personal lives but Katie Joy. She needs to stop, period. Since KJ has been reporting on these dancers, they have been going through so much harassment, you guys. I don't hear from them, but I go to their pages and the harassment that they are going through is unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Why? She's picking on Miranda. The day Miranda was doing her nails on her live, Katie Joy had something negative to say. This was sent to me last night. It says, as Sally Hansen nail products aware, I saw Miranda had an ad post of their products. Without a crystal ball. I mean, let's go. let's go for what, Katie Joy? So you can now contact Sally Hansen, okay, and tell Sally Hansen that you have no proof of that this young lady is in a cult. This woman is reporting on a pastor that allegedly is a sex offender. Couldn't find him on the sex offender list, but he's a sex offender. Concrete came and made this post on his Instagram.
All the women in my family, my wife, my mom, my auntie, cousins, everybody, man, my niece, you know what I'm saying, my sisters. I would post, you know, everybody, but due to all this cult stuff, bro, I don't feel comfortable announcing like family now, you know what I'm saying, because that page is posting addresses and I don't feel safe with that type of stuff. So yeah, happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women and the women in my family. Love you.
Concrete is like blasting Kelly's and Dean and saying, I'm not in a cult. This is all great. My life is perfect. I'm just going up from here. A guy reached out to Concrete. He's talking to everyone. And the guy told me that Concrete told him that like anyone that's saying anything is just lying, that they're jealous, that they're making so much money right now. If you say to someone, if you fucking flat out say to someone, I'm not in a cult, when somebody is confronting you, you're in a fucking cult. If you are smearing the parents, not even addressing the fact that the parents have valid concerns for their daughter.
Now, can you see where my frustration is coming from with Heather McDonald? Because you're using KJ as a source. KJ that does not report facts. She reports on hearsay. She doesn't do her due diligence and researches first, which she claims she's a journalist. She's no journalist. She doesn't have the credentials. She doesn't even have the ethics to be a journalist, in my opinion. A true journalist will research the story first and come out with everything once they verified and corroborated whatever they needed to. Katie Joy is hurting people. Katie Joy has zero self-awareness. And you people are just taking in everything. Go and look at how she is hurting these people. She is calling and being part of calling these people's sponsors to have them dropped. She claims that they're not getting paid. But in the first breath, or in the first time she starts reporting, they only get 40%. Then she says they pay rent. So if they are paying rent, how the hell are they paying rent if they don't get paid? Now, this is what I can't see, how you people just accept all that she gives you. This is a typical example. Slavic, that's one of the dancers. His dad is actually one that's on the front lines in Ukraine. He's trying his best to be there for his family in Ukraine. First of all, Katie Joy plants seeds of doubt to actually donate to Slavic. He could be trying to help his family in Ukraine, while his dad is on the front lines. Couldn't, or possibly, he can be supporting his family. But KJ is taking all that away by calling and contacting the sponsors to drop them. That is all the way fucked up, and still has the audacity. Katie Joy, if you can just jump out of your high horse recliner and go buy yourself a Bentley, why don't you at the same time go get yourself some help? Because clearly you have issues. Because no human being would be as vile as you, in my opinion. Especially in times like this. You need to stop. Stop reporting false information. Stop it. Stop inserting yourself in other people's business. I truly do hope that the Wilkins family have dropped you, because you have done nothing but damaged the relationship between Miranda and her family even more, because you decided to insert your fucking self. You need to stop, period, because one day you are gonna get somebody hurt. And all this business about you have a team. People, if she does have a team, who is fitting the bill for this team? Be careful. Don't let her sweet talk you. Oh, I got this. I'll use my lawyer. I'll do this and I'll do that. Because you're going to be indebted to Katie Joy for the rest of your life. And when you can't repay her, she is going to bury you. She is going to bring out your whole life. She is going to humiliate you. She's going to drag you. Beware. She's done this to so many people. Do your research. There's plenty to go around on YouTube. Plenty. Watch your back. Be careful. She wants to come across so sympathetic, like she cares about these people. This is a typical example of what her vile cult members do. This is pictures of Robin from Sister Wives that her followers took and sent to her. Robin can't even shop in peace. This is a picture of Abby in a wheelchair from behind. So can you imagine what Miranda and all these others are going through? Katie Joy is a con artist, in my opinion. That's it. Have a fantastic weekend. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Make good memories, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Miranda, I was told by someone today that collabed with her recently, was not allowed to be alone. So she showed up and she had eyes on her the whole time. And she was not allowed to be by herself. And when B- was supposed to collaborate with someone, he apparently brought Miranda completely unprompted, last minute, and I was told had his eyes on Miranda the entire time that she was at this event. And they are concerned that the amount of control that's being around her is making it so that she can't get to people or can't speak to people. They were on a shoot with Aubrey, for instance, and during the shoot, he refused to talk to anyone. And he was very not engaged, which was apparently very different than he had been. B- doesn't speak like that. He doesn't actually write that way. I'm going to say this with kindness, but people say that he's a nice guy, but he isn't well read, isn't super academic, and doesn't really get on a deep level about things. He's like so invested now in all of these weird conspiracy theories, like QAnon shit, like stuff that's just so out of left field and like not at all the kind of stuff that they would have believed in before. And they're not overly, like, none of these guys were like overly conservative. On top of that, they say that Miranda just no one has seen her drive. She doesn't drive anymore, I guess. They said she's usually being driven by people and dropped off by people. All eyes are always on her. So apparently B- is conspiracies. Miranda doesn't get to be by herself, doesn't drive anymore. One of the things that really struck home with me when I was talking to Kelly was just like how utterly scared she was, because she had no clue where Miranda was. Her daughter just disappeared with a boyfriend that she had had for a while. Miranda's mom knows where she is. So that's good. They know where they live. James doesn't really see his son, doesn't really talk to him.